Hey guys, Alex here with Paragon Performance. Today we're going to be showing you how to install this awesome functional AGM carbon fiber ZR1 hood. There are a couple options with this where you can get it kind of in a rough finish or a not a pristine finish that's ideal for painting. So if you wanted to paint match your hood, you can do that. Or you can get it in the finished carbon where it is nice, pretty, awesome carbon, ready to go. But this is fully functional, meaning the airflow through the front bumper comes right out this scoop. Z06 E-ray, basically a bolt-on, a little bit more airflow aid there through that front radiator. If you have a Stingray, there is an option for that to be fully functional as well, as they have a filler plate that kind of mimics the Z06 down here, makes that fully functional also. Let's get to showing you how this is installed. All right, first thing we need to do is open the hood. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is get this hood actually removed. Keep in mind you will need to transfer the rubber bump stops and the latch. We'll do that at a later point when we are final fitting the hood. But to get the hood actually off, we just need to remove the 4 13mm bolts on both sides. And having a friend to help you do this will definitely be beneficial. All right, so the next thing we need to do is actually remove all the plastic trim here in the frunk, starting with the side pieces. Should be able to just kind of get a hold of them, get your finger under them, and then you'll need to pull them towards the center of the vehicle. Just like so, and then the one on the other side. And then we are going to remove the battery cover and cabin air filter panel here. And remove the front piece here. This one helps to just kind of twist it past that seal and pull it out from underneath the fender. And then you can just pull up on it all the way across. All right, next we need to remove the tub itself. You're gonna remove the Torx bits around the outside here. The bolt count is different depending on the trim level of the car. This one being an E-ray, we have 4 of them on that side, 2 of them on this side. The Stingrays, I believe, only have 2 on either side. So we'll need to remove all of those, remove these threaded on anchors here in the frunk, and there will be a 10mm nut on either side there as well. And then before we lift this completely out, there is an electrical connector down here in the front side that we need to undo that actually goes to the button and light and charge port here. So all right, so next here we're gonna take our front tub that we took out. We need to remove this antenna off the back here. It is riveted down, so you will need to either drill out the rivet or grind the heads of them off to get that free. Then there are several wire retention clips kind of all the way around the tub here. We'll need to remove all of that because we need all of this harness so we can put it back in the car. You can clip the zip ties, you can pry these out, whatever works best for you. inside, we need to remove this button assembly and charge port and the light. This is very difficult to get out, but it is just some little clips here. You just have to pull real hard to get it out. We're gonna unplug all of these, fish them back through, and then we will plug all of this stuff back in inside the car. And we're gonna do our best here to basically tie it up here on the passenger side behind the headlight there, kind of tucked in there as best you can. There is a revision coming soon that makes it so this big bulky thing does not have to be plugged in. They have a box that will plug into this instead, so you don't have any service lights or anything of that nature. So once you get that done, get it all tied up out of the way and plugged back into that connector down here, and then we can move on to the next step. All right, so for E-Ray specific here, we have this coolant reservoir for the front drive unit. We are going to remove the 210s here to take the OEM bracket out. Then we are gonna disconnect this push clip here for this wire harness into the structure. Then we will take our new bracket, and this actually bolts underneath the hole here that the cover that goes on here bolts to. And then you will have a nut and bolt that goes through the bottom of the bracket through the hole where the push clip goes. And then we have actually added a hole to move the push clip up so it's still retained in place. And then you will use the 2 bolts you took out of the OEM bracket, as well as the 2 extra nuts in the kit, and basically bolt the reservoir to this. Tech tip, I would definitely make sure when you're putting this on there that we start one of these bolts in there when you go to tighten this bottom one, so it just holds that bracket in place for you. But let's get to it. All right, so next we're gonna take the carbon trim plate here. We're gonna reinstall this in place. This actually bolts into the same outer 4 locations that the tub did. And then the front needs to be above these tabs down here. All right, using the template supplied, we have cut the inside of the template out here. We're gonna start here on the passenger side, aligning this bottom corner with the bottom corner of the panel, and straight down this edge. This other side should be pretty close to the edge over here as well. Just like so. And then we're gonna mark that out to cut. Then we're gonna flip this over and mark it out on the other side. All right, then we're gonna go cut it using whatever method you prefer to cut plastic with, so. All right, so we're gonna start here by reinstalling some of our trim here. And now we're gonna install the duct piece, keeping in mind this here needs to be above the aluminum kind of support structure down there at the bottom. It just kind of sets on top of it. It is kind of a snug fit, so it is a little hard to get in there, but and then we will need to tuck this ledge underneath this piece of plastic. Okay, and then install the screws that go down through here into that carbon plate underneath. All right, so all we need to do is harvest the seal off of here, and we will transfer that onto the ledge of that duct piece. Just grab a hold of it, give it a good firm pull, comes right off. And just like that, we are ready to test fit the hood. All right, so the AGM does use different hardware than OEM. So when you take this out of all of its packaging, there'll be a piece of plywood bolted onto here. You will need to keep that nut and washer for the installation. And now that we've got the hood on here, we're just gonna gently tighten these down just a little bit so it stays in place. And I have no bump stops, no latch. All we're doing is working on getting panel gaps between the hood and the fenders and bumper and whatnot somewhat close to where they need to be. Come forward. All right, once you've got that where you're happy, we're gonna pull the bump stops out of the original hood. They just screw out of there and we'll screw back in. And then we're going to set the height so it stops it so it's flush with here. And then next you will want to take the latch, put the latch in place, basically get it centered into here before tightening the bolts down, verify everything works, and you are good to go. There you guys have it, fairly simple install. Definitely recommend having an extra person with you to help do this. There are just times where having an extra set of hands is helpful. Now you've got it installed, you've got that fully functioning hood, which is just awesome in general. I know cutting your Corvette in some places is a little scary. Those parts are cheap and inexpensive to replace if you were to, wildly mess them up or decide you want to go back to factory later. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you guys next time.